Hello, this is Angelo,
Hello, I'm Alexandra.
and we are here with Priming Masterclass number 2 for Own Your Future Challenge. So, as we said yesterday, priming is everything because how you prime yourself for the challenge is what you will be getting from the challenge because, as Sun Tzu said,
Every battle is won before it is fought.
exactly. And this is why we're here. We could have been at the beach today and we were preparing a very powerful, profound, simple, but profound presentation for you because today we will be talking about the 5 core pillars of life. And now you might be wondering, like, Angelo, what are you talking about? I want to watch Own Your Future
Future
Talents.
talents.
I want to learn from Tony, Dean, and all the other speakers how to turn my mess into a message, how to
Mhm.
create a digital product, how to bring out my value to the world and get like income from it and create more impact to the world. Yes, we will get to that. But you know what? And to give you like to give you a feel of what we will be talking about today, I want to start with a story. And that story has to do with John Wooden. And for those of you who don't know him, he's one of the most successful, if not
Yes.
the most successful, basketball coaches in
Of all
history
time,
of all
right?
times. And he has won 10 NCAA championships, 7 in a row.
Amazing.
Boom.
Amazing.
And this is how John Wooden would start a new season for his team. Every time, like the first 2 hours, he would train the team to tie their shoes better.
I
And
was
you,
amazed when I heard this story
I
for the
mean,
first time. I
yeah,
mean,
me too.
why
But
would you do that,
at
right?
the same time, at some point, I thought, okay, some of these guys will be like brand new, freshies, and
Okay,
and and,
yes.
and
But what about the other ones that are
some
already
of
in the
them
team?
have won the championship last year. Why was he doing it? For 2 reasons. Number one, discipline. Like it is my way or the highway for
Yes,
the
I
whole
am the
season.
coach.
Okay? Number two, it is because if you take care of your feet, which is has, by the way, one of the other things that I
Mhm.
have learned at some point is that it has more bones than the rest of our body.
Yes.
If you take care of your feet, you have less chances for an injury. So you will not miss part of the season and the team will not miss you.
Hmm.
So why did we bring out that story? Because this is what we will be doing for the next few minutes. We will do our best to make this masterclass as short, if not shorter, like yesterday, less than half an hour. And we will be talking about fundamentals and more specifically about the 5 core pillars of life. And if you're watching this right now and not hearing the audio version of it, you see one of the many ancient Greek
Yes.
temples. And can you imagine the rooftop of that temple being like
Held
held
by
by
one
just one pillar?
or two
No.
will not work.
So we have 5 core pillars, and the way to remember them is actually by using the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 model, and
Exactly.
you will see in a minute, in a second, why. Because pillar number one is that you have one life.
One precious
That's
life.
it.
Yes.
If you take a moment and think about that, it will change your life. This alone. So you might say right now, I'm too busy. I don't like you guys. I am off. Good. But remember, as you're heading to wherever it is you want to go, remember that you have one life. And as we said yesterday, the best way to communicate to our minds is with pictures. So let's illustrate that with an example. A few years
Okay.
from now, I hope this will never happen, of course,
Me too.
but some years from now, there's only one tree left on Earth. And can you imagine? I mean, people would be flying from all over to see that tree, to learn stories about that tree, to
To
take
take a
selfies
picture in front of
with
the
that
tree.
tree
Yes.
because it is so valuable. It's just one tree. And maybe they will be trying to ponder on how their ancestors were living with parks and forests and so on. And now it is just one tree in the whole of the earth. This is how valuable your life is. You have one shot at this. But if you invest some energy and some time to make it right, it will be good enough.
Exactly. And I think all of us may have had periods in our life where we have doubled and not made the maximum, not utilized the maximum of our potential.
That's right.
Now, with Own Your Future Talents, it is your chance to change this.
Exactly.
Go after your dreams
Exactly.
and build the life that you want. Make this commitment to your life, the one precious life that you have.
It's not, I know, we discussed about this yesterday, and I know how all these notifications, all these distractions, all these blinks and noises and sounds and
Yes.
everything get us distracted. And we have basically all become like ADHD and all these things. But at the same time, this is where focus matters the most. This is where we want to bring our attention back and say, you know what? It's my life. I will make it right.
It's my time.
Right now.
Exactly.
So, pillar number two, is that we live simultaneously in two worlds, in both worlds, our inner world and our outer world. And you want to remember that these worlds always communicate with each other every single moment. And these two worlds, they affect each other as well. And how most people live is that mostly their outer world, the things that they cannot control, affect their inner world. So their outer world is like, everything that you don't like
Your job, your environment,
the negative news from the
exactly.
media, and all
What other
these things that
people
are
are
happening
saying.
that get you distracted from where you want to go, and you feel powerless because you allow your outer world to affect your thoughts and your emotions.
Powerless and tired, right?
Exactly.
It's overstimulation,
Overwhelmed.
overwhelmed.
But this is how your super self lives. Your inner world mostly creates your outer world. So, as we said yesterday, you have a strong emotional fortress, so very few things can interfere with that, with your emotional state. And you live mostly happy and unstoppable, as we will talk about a bit later on. And at the same time, you start affecting your outer world. You start affecting others. So you walk into the meeting room all fired up, and you make everyone else fired up as well.
Exactly.
Isn't this amazing? That this is your decision. It's your decision to not allow your outer world to affect you, and you make your outer world better for you and others.
Always remember that your life is your inner world outpictured.
Exactly.
Okay? And On Your Future Talents will cover this. Okay? We will not only learn from Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, and all the other amazing speaker tactics about digital product creation and the self-education industry. We will also learn how to gain clarity, how to master our emotions, how to gain more confidence.
Exactly.
I'm very excited about that part of the challenge, actually.
Very important. Because as we said yesterday, I mean, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. And at the same time, this is why you cannot change, because you don't trust any move you're about to take. Hold that thought. Hold that thought and ask yourself, is it worth it to invest some time to prime myself mentally and emotionally, as we're doing right now, in order to get the most from On Your Future Challenge and take off?
Exactly.
This is your plan for the next year and like basically the next decade, even the rest of your life, because once you get like a good hold of that industry, the sky's the limit.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
And we'll find more about that
exactly.
during the
Number three, we basically, our whole life is controlled by three forces. Number one is the wheel. So imagine yourself sitting on a vehicle right now. Force number one is the wheel, which is basically your focus, where you look at right now, where you're focusing right now, hopefully on Alexandra and Angelo, hopefully, right? So force number two is everything that propels you forward. And force number three, of course, is what drags you back, everything that does not allow you to get where you want to go. So, for example, one of these examples will be, like resentment, fear, all the
Trauma from
negative
the
emotions,
past,
or
anxiety. Yeah.
things like low value thoughts and actions.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, everything that propels you forward is like enthusiasm, love, gratitude, and then also high value actions, effective actions that are what we call game changers or needle movers.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you imagine? I mean, taking the example that we just said for the two worlds, can you imagine how most people live? Most people live
Yes.
with their hands off the wheel.
Driven by their
Okay,
past,
life.
right? Yeah.
Okay, outer world. Take me where you want to go,
And then you wonder why you're stuck, why
right?
you're not going where you
With a
want to.
lot of resentment, a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of depression pulling us back,
Yes.
and very little
Energy.
energy to
And
propel us forward.
yes.
How your super self lives, how the best version of you lives, with the hands on the wheel all the time,
With your eyes on
having
the vision.
minimized all the setbacks and happy and unstoppable, all fired up, all committed, all self-confidence, pulling yourself forward towards your destination, towards the impact, income, and lifestyle and freedom that you truly want to
Mhm.
create for you and your family. This is the game-changing attitude. And one way to illustrate this and for you to remember it is think of yourself now that you are in an air balloon and something
Okay.
is wrong, like as if something is wrong in your life and it starts going down. What
Mm.
should you be doing?
Dropping the weights,
Drop
right?
the ballast off,
Yes.
okay? Everything that is non-serving, you drop it off. This is like eliminating the negative forces of my life and at the same time making sure that you get the air balloon like all fired up as much as
So
possible.
you can rise
Make
again.
the flame
Yes.
as big as possible.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it takes. But also, the third force, the will we were talking about, always remember how it works with a rocket. First, you align the rocket perfectly, otherwise it won't work.
Yes.
And then you fire up the rocket. This is why you need to have your hands on the wheel. You need to be focused. Because if you put yourself in a Formula One car and you like hit the gas and you cannot control the wheel, you're done.
Too much force, right?
What matters now that you have all the power and you have like, I don't know, like 800 horsepower,
Mm-hmm.
how, I don't know how far it goes now, but something like that. And you have 800 horsepower the moment you hit the gas pedal. You need to be able to control the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
This is what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Number four, we have four emotional states, four core fundamental emotional states. And I have been using David Hawkins's
Emotional scale, right?
emotional scale a lot.
Yes.
That goes basically from 0 to 1,000, and you have
Mm-hmm.
like various numbers aligned with corresponding emotions like anger, courage, and whatever towards enlightenment, which is 1,000.
So the lower the part of the
The
pyramid, the
lower you
lower the
feel,
emotions,
the
right?
lower you feel, the
And
lower the
higher
number.
the higher the state.
But
Yes.
let us focus on the four core fundamental emotional states. The lower state you can be is what we call victim attitude.
Mm. Yes.
So when you're
Very
angry,
common.
when you're fearful, when you're like completely overwhelmed with anxiety, what happens is that you enter what we call the victim state. So everything that happens is now affecting you and you feel powerless. And you start, like blaming others.
You
You
actually
feel
give your power
powerless.
away, right?
So what
Yes.
is happening? Maybe you feel what you're saying is right, right? But what matters is that you gave, as Alexandra said,
Your power
your
away.
power away.
Yes.
How much do you want to do that for the rest of your life?
Zero.
For me, if it's possible, 0 seconds.
Absolutely
Say that to
zero.
yourself right now. 0 seconds victim attitude. Okay, Angelo, you know what? I was a victim up until
Mm-hmm.
now. I realize it. I'm saying this now to you. Me, Angelo, is saying it to you right now. I have been a victim for many years in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it. Don't do the same mistake. I hope I'm 48 right now. I hope you're much younger and you're watching this right now. 0 seconds as victim. Take your power back. And the next level that you can get is what we call go-getter. Okay, and this was basically like the personal development promise in the
Yes,
70s and the
motivational
80s and so
industry,
on.
right?
You
I
know,
will
like
go after this.
I will
Yes,
burn the midnight oil and I will
I will
do
work on
whatever
it.
it takes
Yes.
and I will go to as many I will make as many cold calls as it takes and I
Mm-hmm.
will hit as many
Yes,
doors
yes.
as it takes and I will achieve my goal. And this can get you far. But you know what is, as we call it always comes with consequences.
Yes, it comes with a price.
It comes
Can
with a
you guess
price.
what price that is?
It's expensive.
It's expensive. Your vital force is eliminated very fast. You cannot sustain this model of life for a very long time,
Okay,
right?
so do you have any friends that are basically complaining like all the time about not being happy with what they're
Oh,
doing?
yes, unfortunately, yes.
And I thought, like, okay, this is our micro world. But then I see at Own Your Future Challenge website, and I think Dean mentioned that
Mm-hmm.
on our interview as well,
Mm-hmm.
that 72% of people are not fulfilled by their careers. They
And their work.
basically don't
I- i-
like or
It's
hate their jobs.
it's an
And maybe you're one
amazingly
of them.
high percentage.
So
Yes.
now, as a go-getter, it is the moment you tell yourself, I've had some success, but not fulfillment in my life. This model of life is not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2023 and on, depending on when you're watching this video, there are some resources.
That I can use
I mean,
and do it a better way.
we are in Athens right now, and if we want to go to, let's say, New York, we don't have to walk to the shore and then swim all the way across the Atlantic, right? There are airplanes we can hop on. This is like making sure you're taking all the tools and
Mhm.
all the resources available to you right now and making sure your model is fitting for this economy. Your model is fitting for this life, for this era, the era where you can take your cell phone and immediately go
Create
live or upload
exactly,
the video and
exactly.
start a business. Okay?
So much easier. The barrier to entry is so minimal. And you will
By,
hear stories from Dean at
by the
On Your
way,
Future Challenge about that.
exactly. And by the way, one, I believe like my business, my godfather is Richard Branson. And Richard Branson used to take his van and drive all the way from England, like cross the channel and drive all the way to Belgium to sell some records.
Records, yes.
And I remember one time it was Tim Cook at an Apple
Conference.
conference.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the moment that, I mean, if I remember correctly, you two were on stage and they sang a song from the new album.
Okay.
And then Tim Cook goes back on stage and tells Bono, you know what? Right now, immediately, we just pressed a button and 1 billion people got your song, this song,
Isn't it amazing?
like in a heartbeat. How many miles should Richard Branson drive to give away one
Yes.
billion records, and
Yes.
how much would that cost?
The point is that you do not have to operate from a go-getter mode anymore. It's an
And
old-fashioned model, right?
and
And a
finally,
way of
as a
living.
go-getter, because many of you are on that state, if you're a go-getter, you don't have to be self-beating yourself. What have I been doing up until now?
No, of course not.
You just give yourself a hug. Thank you for bringing me here, old self.
Exactly. Appreciable
Now,
journey.
from now on, I will live as happy and unstoppable, or what most of you know as flow state.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you achieve the emotional state of happiness with the exercises that we gave you yesterday, the next thing that happens, the corresponding mental state of the emotional state of happiness is flow. And this is where magic happens.
Exactly.
This is where you start making like your presentation and you go live and you make your presentation as we do right now. And you feel, as I like to say, secretary of the universe. Like the words come to me. I'm not reaching out for words. The words come to me because
Yes.
I am at flow state.
Minimal
I am
effort.
happy and
Yes,
unstoppable.
yes.
I am doing everything from the path of least resistance. This is the game-changing act.
And one of the keys to being in flow state is to do something that you absolutely love. And at Own Your Future Talents, Dean Graziosi and the other speakers will show us exactly how to identify this and how you can turn this into a business for yourself.
And last but not least is enlightened
Enlightenment
state or
state.
enlightenment. And it is something basically that very few people on earth right now, I mean, could be even less than 10,
Yes.
that are basically in that state. And this is what we are not covering here. Our objective with and our mission is to put as many people as possible on flow state
Exactly.
and help as many people as possible say and mean that they live happy and unstoppable every single day. For us, this is a blessing just to have the opportunity to talk to you right now and to give you the opportunity to live from a higher state of consciousness and from a higher emotional state.
Yes.
Number 5.
Number 5.
There are 5 waves that you have to cross in order to reach your destination.
What a beautiful picture.
And many times that we are sailing, especially in the past, especially if you're hungry, you might say, okay, how long does it take?
To reach shore,
Or
right?
maybe we have now experienced both using a sailboat and a speedboat, okay? And when you travel at, let's say, 40 knots with a speedboat, I mean, basically you're teleporting from one Greek island to the other, right?
Yes.
So when you go back to the sailboat and you travel at 6 knots per hour, at 6 knots, what's the problem? You feel that the time has stopped.
Yes, that you're almost not moving,
And
right?
every wave is like a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how many people feel because they have not identified these 5 waves.
Mm-hmm.
Wave number 1, believe that I want.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, Angel, I mean, it's your desire. Are you telling me
First
I
of
don't
all,
want
I
that?
have to believe that I
Do you
want
remember
it.
what we
Yes.
said yesterday about conflicting desires? You need to actually convince yourself that you want that. And once you do, once this is like 10 out of 10, and you say, yes, I fully believe that I want that. I have that desire. I have that destination. And don't call it a goal. Goals have like 5% chance of success.
Yes, it's a bit overwhelming.
Think of yourself
Destination, yes.
hopping on a plane and arriving 99.99999% at your destination. And what we like to say as an example is if you're in Athens and you walk into the plane and, like fasten your seatbelt and you hear the captain say, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is our goal to go to New York today." Everybody would storm out of the plane.
Storm out.
So, wave number 1, believe that you want what you say that you want. Wave number 2, believe that you actually deserve it. Some people say, I want that new apartment.
But
I want
most
that
probably it's
new
not for
car.
me.
I
Yes.
want that new boat. I want to
This
travel the
holiday,
world.
yes.
I want to be able to give these kind of luxuries to my family and this level of education to my children. I don't deserve this. This is too much for me.
It's one of the major milestones you have to overcome.
It's the
It's
second
true.
wave that you have to cross. And you have to go through that journey before you go to the third wave, is to believe that you can. Because maybe, just maybe, you have some capabilities, but if you don't believe you deserve it, it
Right.
won't matter.
Right.
So the third wave is to do whatever it takes to believe that you can actually get there.
Mm-hmm.
And this can happen you begin from courage and you build your faith. And the way you build your faith, how do you build your faith? If you go to place like on your future challenge and you get all these answers and all these insights and you
Exactly.
see how simple that is, do you believe a bit more that you can actually do it?
When you see that other people have done it, and you
Exactly.
then believe it a bit more that you can do it too.
Exactly. So
That's why
if you
this
see some
challenge
people that got
is so
started
important.
last year and now they are already where you would want to be next year,
Exactly.
you believe
Your
a
faith
bit
is
more
sparked.
that you can. Number 4, believe that I will. It is possible. Check yourself. Maybe you've done that many times in your life. That you know you deserve something, you can do something, and you don't actually
Mm.
do it
This is
because
the commitment part, right?
exactly, as
Yes.
Jim Rohn used to say, what is easy to do is also easy
Not to do.
not to do. So let me ask you this. Do you believe you deserve better health?
Absolutely.
Can you take some actions to improve your health through exercise and nutrition?
Definitely.
Like
Yes.
exercise a bit
Yes.
more and eat a bit less, or like
Hmm.
better quality foods and so on, right? So you know these things. All, if not all, almost everyone, like from the 8 billion people, know these things. How many people are doing it?
Very good
So
question.
your will matters to reach your destination. And this is the fourth way. And you feel, I feel the resistance now from
Yes,
the
yes,
audience,
yes, yes.
right? So you
Absolutely.
feel right now the resistance. It gets harder. And wait for it, because now it's wave number 5, the most challenging of all. Believe that it is done.
I think
Now,
this is the biggest of them all,
now,
if we evaluate each one of
now
them.
that you are maybe, just maybe you're in debt. Maybe you've just been fired like last week, or you got bankrupt last week, and you have no idea how to go about it. To believe, to go through the mental and emotional journey to believe that it is done,
Hmm.
that you can actually close your eyes and see and feel yourself at your destination, as we said yesterday. This is the happy landing exercise. And happy landing, by the way, does not mean that I have landed and now I am happy. Because
Exactly. It's the other way around.
I am happy
And I do
and
it.
this is how I managed to land.
Exactly.
Because the end result is your growth, not happiness. Happiness is the vehicle to get there. You don't need to succeed to be happy, but most probably you need to be happy to succeed.
Hmm.
These are the 5 waves, and we have a bonus.
We have a bonus. We always have a bonus,
We always have
right?
a bonus within a bonus. Don't you love that? I love this attitude. As Ed Milet, I mean, his beautiful book, I was practicing this attitude like from the very beginning of my
Yes,
personal
the
development,
power of one
or
more, right?
always do
Yes.
something more.
Always do something
And
extra.
this is a very powerful way to communicate to yourself, mostly, that there is always something more that you can do.
Hmm.
So
Exactly.
we have a little bonus for
We
you,
have a little bonus.
and we have
Yes.
some powerful Q&A, like a very powerful, short but powerful
Yes.
Q&A session.
Yes, you want to stick around for this part. It will be short. We have been monitoring the Own Your Future Challenge private Facebook group and communicating with lots of people there. And we have seen with Angelo 3 common threads, 3 common concerns that go through many of people's minds. And we thought we will address this because these concerns do not have to do with the challenge, but have to do with our lives. And that's why we combine it with this priming masterclass.
Exactly,
And we'll be
exactly.
going through, we will cover 3 of them, which are very vital and very important for all of us to hear and answer. Okay?
I want, Alexandra said something like I want to make a, a mental frame right now
Okay.
from something that Alexandra said. Yes, we're talking about Own Your Future Challenge
Hmm.
from August 1st to August 5th. Yes, you need to be there to make an upgrade in your mindset and your
Yes.
skill set. Yes, you will learn a lot, but no, it is not about only your future challenge. It's always about you, your life, and the life you truly want to build for you and your family. This is why we are here. This is why Tony and Dean will be here giving you answers. It's not about the challenge, it's about you.
Exactly. And
And
that's why it's 5 days. That's how
and
much in depth they want to go to help
exactly.
us all create a better life for ourselves.
But that said, maybe you feel enthusiastic, committed about the challenge. But at the same time, we know that life is life. And now, your emotional home, as Tony Robbins likes to call it, is fear, is anxiety.
Stress,
This is what
overwhelmment.
we received from the group,
Yes.
and Alexandra managed to group many, many objections, many reservations, many
Many
questions,
concerns
many
into
concerns
three areas, three
into
key
three
questions.
key questions.
Okay,
Let's do
so
this.
let's do the first one. So, as you can understand, this private Facebook group is full of excitement about the challenge and all the things that we will be learning there. And there are many people that said the following: I see everybody happy and ready to rock and roll, but I feel so tired and stuck.
Wow.
How do I go about it?
Okay, so
And I get emotional just saying it now again to you because I can really
you feel the
you
pain,
feel the pain of these people.
of
Yes,
course,
yes,
of course. But always remember, when you see like one of your role models or a celebrity, an influencer on Instagram, like posing, this is just 1 second
one
of their
moment.
life, one
Yes,
moment. They too have incredible challenges.
everybody
There
has.
are depressed billionaires in the world, in this world. There are happy people who have no idea how the next meal will come.
Hmm.
There are all sorts of cases. We all have our challenges. We all have our problems, and we sort them out one at a time. What Alexandra and I have found throughout our journey, our challenging journey, is that once you focus on you first, once you focus on upgrading your emotions first, everything else will fall into place. So stop feeling like a resentment towards others, and also like
Yes,
be in a state where you feel that you're behind. Stop comparing yourself with others. Compare yourself with who you were yesterday and who you can become tomorrow. That
exactly,
is all that matters.
exactly,
This is why we're here. This is why we gave you the 5 core pillars, because you want to start from like the fundamentals and the game changers.
exactly. Question number two. I cannot find my purpose. And this is such a
This is
common thread.
a moving
Uh,
a moving
a
target.
moving target, a very long rabbit hole with no end. And what I noticed, because many people also mention their age, is it goes throughout the age, right? So it's not just for young
Exactly.
people, even people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, they say, I still have not found my purpose. How do I go about it?
So, how do you go about it? I like what Jim Rohn used to suggest.
Hmm.
It's your life. So you better take a pencil to write your goals,
Hmm.
because it's your life. You can even, like rip the page, tear the
Start
page
all
up,
over again.
start all over.
Yes.
And also, the more your consciousness grows, the more your consciousness is elevated, the different objectives, the different goals, the different destinations you will have. The
It
different,
changes, right?
your
Throughout life.
purpose is
Yes.
not a fixed thing that you should be looking for. The more you grow, the more your purpose will be growing as well. This is what matters, for you to start where you are and do something that lights you up, and it fills your heart, your soul, but also it
Yes.
fills your pocket, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
as you progress, you can do different things. Again, my business godfather, Richard Branson, is always saying, I may have like 300 or 400 companies, but I
Yes.
always have one baby. So it's the new thing that lights you up, and you
Hmm.
put all your energy to make it work.
Yes.
And all the other businesses could be on autopilot. So don't bother, like what will happen. And if your purpose is valid like 3 years from now.
Exactly.
What lights you up today? Ask yourself. I mean, if I won the lottery today, like a couple of $100 million, what would I be doing today?
Exactly.
That's about
Don't
it.
make it overwhelming for yourself. As we evolve as humans, our purpose is dynamic. It changes together with us. Fixate your attention on what you love doing right now, how you can help others. And again, this will be addressed in On Your Future Challenge, so we will find ways how to go about this. And
Exactly.
last question, number 3, is fear, a big fear we have seen across time with Angelo, with in our community and in this community, and it is the following. I have failed at so many things in my life, and I'm afraid to fail again.
You have to decide whether your past will influence your future, will address your future, will determine your future, or just simply be used as a guiding tool, as
Mhm.
things maybe not to repeat in my life
As
and in my
lessons,
business.
yes.
So this is the game changer. Your past does not determine your future. Your past is simply there to give you guidance towards your future. And also, if you look back, you will see some patterns. And as we said yesterday, these patterns have momentum. These habits have momentum. So the more conscious you become, the more energy you bring in one like certain point in history, in time for you, this is how change happens.
Mhm.
This is why we're so passionate and we're repeating like all the time to you, be there. Don't just sign up, be at Own Your Future Challenge.
Attend
Don't
fully.
just sign up, don't just be there. Invite as many people from your family
Yes.
and your partners and your employees, because you know what? This is how immersion happens. And you need all the energy you can to get through the atmosphere of your old habits and towards your super self and your super life. This is very important. Instead of going, like 90% of your energy for
Yes.
years and decades and feeling depleted, what you want to do is put like 110% right now.
Immersion.
Immersion, and say to yourself, my past does not equal my future.
Hmm.
I don't have like regrets about my past.
No,
I
it's
don't have
lessons.
resentment
It is
about
just
my past.
lessons.
I hug myself. It's part of it got me here. And you know what? Even if you feel that you're like a bit left behind, imagine that right now you're on a slingshot or
Hmm.
like the pendulum, right? The further back you go, the further forward you
Yes.
will prepare, the
Yes.
more energy you
That's
have
a nice
to prepare
perspective to look at it.
yourself
Yes.
forward.
Hmm.
And this is where we are right now. All we need from you, because we know Tony is committed, we know Dean Graziosi is committed, we know Trent Shelton will come like a storm. We know these things. And we know how fast 5 days can go. And if you're not ready, they will go so fast you won't know what happened. And you might say, I don't think it was worth it actually.
Yeah.
I didn't get much. And maybe you've met someone in the group and you chat a year from now
Mm.
and they say, you know what? I've made my first six-figure launch
What an
with my
inspiration.
digital
Yes.
product.
Yes.
And you say, whoa, maybe I didn't get that last year.
Yes.
Don't be
Yes.
that person.
Yes.
Commit right now that 1 year from now, you will see your super self in the mirror. You will see in your balance sheet the success, the financial success that you desire for your business. Make that commitment today. Go through the 5 waves before the
The
challenge
challenge.
begins.
Yes.
We will help you with that. With another masterclass tomorrow and
Yes.
with review and priming masterclasses every single day during the challenge. This
Yes.
is how committed we are to give you the answers.
I want to add something here, Angelo. Listen, we are going through very challenging times, and there are many people who need this challenge, who need this information to go forward. So help Tony and Dean enlarge, make this positive ripple effect much bigger by sharing the link you will find below this video. If you have not already signed up for Own Your Future Challenge, sign up yourself. You will gain 3 main things from Own Your Future Challenge. 1, clarity. 2, bigger confidence. And 3, an actionable plan on how you can create the next level of your life and create the dream life that you truly, truly deserve.
Great. So we are very grateful that you're still here. We're very grateful that you're part of this mission. And we are very grateful for your super self that we will be meeting a year from now. See you tomorrow with Masterclass number 3.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.